Yeah, get to the 20,000 again.
The conspiracy theories, man.
What do you mean? The test is
About
a
the
test.
devil and
Yeah, get to the
Illuminati.
20,000, Tim.
Look, man. Vada is a trusted company. Let's put it that way. A trusted company. I believe in Vada. I believe in them so much that I even paid for
How much?
my fighters.
How much?
Or my opponents. I even paid for them to do Vada.
How much?
Okay, I was like, I'll pay the 20,000 so you can test. You know, don't worry about it.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. That man said 20,000. He didn't say all year round. This is just for a couple of weeks, you know, just for one fight. 20,000, that man said. That's what I heard him say. All right, that was Timothy Bradley. I want to make sure I don't miss anything here.
You all can understand where I'm going with this. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it.
Trying to understand something.
Roll the tape.
And it's not like I said in the beginning. I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for two fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
Man, I don't get it. I know people don't want to. Somebody's not. I don't want to say somebody's lying, but somebody is lying. I don't get it. I don't. Oh, somebody lying. I don't know what's going on. Timothy Bradley paid for one fighter 20,000, not all year round, just for a couple of weeks for one fight. Victor Conte paid 20,000 for one fighter, 365 24/7. You ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here. So I'm trying to figure out, man, what's going on with this 20,000, man? Okay, so maybe my question should be this. How many times did the opponent of Timothy Bradley test when he paid his 20,000? Because that was only for a couple of weeks, you know? And then how many times did the fighters test when Victor Conte put up his 20,000 for the whole entire year? I'm just trying to understand. So you mean to tell me for 20,000, Timothy Bradley's opponent will test less because they're only testing for a few weeks, you know, just for the fight, one fight. But then when Victor put up his 20,000 for the fighters that he sponsored, that was supposed to be for the whole entire year. So then how many times did they test? I'm just trying to figure out, is 20,000 for a whole year, then it's 20,000 for a couple of weeks. We need answers. I'm just trying to figure this one out. What are we talking about here? I'm gonna play that first part again because I'm having issues with my math. Something's not right. Let me play Victor's words again.
Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not like I said in the beginning. I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for two fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
Well, I'm confused here. You know, because Timothy Bradley said 20,000. And then Victor Conte, he said 20,000. So I think there's only one way. There's only one way where the confusion can abruptly end. There's only one way for the confusion to abruptly end. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. There's only one way for the confusion to abruptly end. There's only one way. Victor Conte told us the way. Because I don't know this 20,000 thing. You know what I mean? 20,000 for Tim Bradley. He paid for his opponent one fight just for a few weeks. And then Victor Conte said he also paid 20,000. Yeah. He paid 20,000. But that was for one of his fighters to test for the whole entire year. There's only one way for the confusion to abruptly end. And Victor Conte told us how. I'm going to play when he told you how. We need answers.
My word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not, like I said in the beginning, I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for two fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
All right. You heard him? You heard what Victor said. He agrees with me, Tracy. Electric, Big Supreme, AJ64, Brian. Victor agrees with me and what I'm about to say. He said, I already walked the talk. He said, I put up 40,000, 20,000 for Nonito for the whole entire year. 365, 24/7. He said Rachel Donaire and Nonito can vouch for me. The confusion will abruptly end. It's only one way. All that has to happen, according to Victor Conte, is Rachel Donaire and Nonito can vouch for me. That's what he said. Because the thing about it is this. I mean, Victor Conte did tell us that he put up 20,000 for two fighters. Nonito Donaire and Edwin Rodriguez, which totaled 40,000 for the whole entire year. That's what he said. Now, you know what's interesting about that? I just have to say this because I think this is equally as important. We didn't see no truth through facts by being presented by proof and evidence. Now, I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying is we haven't seen the facts be substantiated by proof and evidence. I mean, we're just going by hearsay. You know what I mean? I mean, we're just going by what Victor Conte said. And I am not here to bash Victor. But if we all keep it 100, Victor Conte has not been a credible source. We've caught him contradicting himself and lying on numerous of occasions. So unfortunately, his word is not good enough to some people. But he did say that Rachel Donaire and Nonito can vouch for him. Well, unfortunately, I mean, Rachel Donaire's word is not really credible either. I mean, I've even proven in the last 24 hours And then even last week that I caught her contradicting herself and lying multiple times as well. And that's no shade thrown. These are facts. So because neither two of their words, unfortunately, is credible here before this audience here, I think there's only one way for Victor Conte to be vouched for. And that's through documentation. Receipts. The VADA receipts. I think that's a fair request. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, people use receipts all the time as proof and evidence. So I'm trying to figure out, let's show some receipts. I mean, Victor Conte said he sponsored these two fighters in 2012. While I figure, I'm sure there's some saved emails from VADA, that can be presented as receipts. That testing was administered for $20,000. For the entire year. Because Timothy Bradley said he put up $20,000, and that was for one opponent for a few weeks. I'm pretty sure that there can be some receipts that can be shown through email from VADA stating that testing was administered. No, not papers from VADA, through VADA's letterhead. Because there are times as business owners, such as myself and some of you, when we have contracts and different other documents that we use repeatedly, we can actually go into the system. Our logo and letterhead is still there. And all we have to do is just change the dates, and then put a different name of a client in there because the language is still the same. The contractual obligations are still the same. The terms and conditions of the agreement is still the same, right? Well, we don't want anybody to be suspicious of the paperwork, because most people already think that VADA is suspicious and they're doing something wrong and underhanded, and that might not even be true. So to make sure VADA maintain their level of credibility, how about we just see emails from VADA? At first, the $20,000 was paid for the entire year, and that testing was administered for 365, 24/7, because we haven't seen any receipts of none of this. We just went based off of the words of people